Hello everyone, this is 100GB and welcome to another episode of the software engineering series. So today I will be talking about my Google interview. So first of all, why this video or what should you expect from this video? This video is meant for anybody who is maybe preparing for Google interviews or maybe who is thinking of how to get a job or how to land a job in Google. Okay, let's start. So a little background. I had been working in the same company for around 4 years after graduating from college, and it was 28 in December when I started preparing for Google. Not particularly for Google, as in Google wasn't actually my target. I started to think about like changing my job and started preparing for the interviews. So it was somewhere around June or July that I got a call from Google's recruiter. So this is the first round actually. So the recruiter calls you. They ask you a bunch of rapid fire questions, mostly which have one-word answers, like tell me the time complexity of this algorithm or any similar computer science question. So if the recruiter thinks that you are well prepared, then the recruiter sets you up for a telephonic round. And if they feel that you are not very well prepared right now, they just tell you that, okay, prepare more for a month, and then they will get back to you, and they do get back to you. So after having this discussion, I guess the first telephonic round was after around 3 weeks or 1 month. So the format of the telephonic round is pretty simple. You have around 45 minutes. You'll face two programming questions. You will have a shared doc, and you have to code. That's it. So mostly those questions are related to arrays and strings, because if you have to cover two questions in 45 minutes on a telephonic interview, that is all you can ask for, right? So even I faced some arrays and strings related question. I was able to solve them, and then I came to know the next day by the recruiter that that particular round is cleared. And then I was scheduled for the campus interviews. For freshers, they mostly have 4 on-campus interviews. If you're experienced, you might expect 5, but even then there are 4, where the breakdown is 3 plus 1, 3 coding interviews and 1 design interview. For me, it was 5, because they were considering me for Android developer role. By the way, Google doesn't hire for a particular role. Google always hires for the company. So, which means if you have applied for an Android developer role, it doesn't mean that you won't face any data structures and algorithms interviews. It is only because of this that once you get inside Google, you can switch to any other team you like without facing any interviews whatsoever. Yeah, for me, the breakdown was something like 3 data structures and algorithm interviews, 1 Android design interview, and 1 general systems design interview. I visited the Hyderabad office, and wow, it is such a beautiful office and amazing food. I was greeted by the recruiters. The process started at around 10 a.m. and there was no wastage of time whatsoever. Everything happened particularly on time. The first interview was a data structures and algorithms interview, plus some kind of Android knowledge testing as well. So we spent around 20 minutes on an Android design problem. It didn't actually involve any code, but I had to do a lot of whiteboarding to explain how it is done and what are the various kind of implications. And the remaining 25 minutes we spent on 2 coding questions. One was related to some cache implementation, which I had to code as well. And the other one was related to binary search tree, which we just discussed. So even for the on-campus rounds, the time limit is 45 minutes and similarly 2 questions. So the second interview was the Android design interview. So I was asked to build an Android app. So I actually didn't have to write any UI components whatsoever. What I was asked for, basically the application logic and what kind of multi-threading techniques will I use. And I actually had to code everything. So yeah, that was really interesting. After that, we had lunch. There was so in Google interview, there is this lunch interviewer thing. It's not actually an interview, and the lunch interviewer doesn't actually contribute to your packet as such. So the third was purely data structures and algorithms interview. I faced 2 questions. One was based on stacks. I wrote the code for that as well. We spent around 30 minutes on that question, and the remaining 25 minutes we spent on a binary heap related problem. We actually didn't have time to code that one. So the interviewer took the discussion to the next level by having more complications, like if I were to solve it in a multi-threaded way, how will I do it? Yeah, a bunch of nice discussions. So the fourth interview, again a data structures and algorithms interview. There was one question that I was given, and it seemed pretty difficult to me. I'm not very sure it was so difficult. By the end of the interview, I guess I coded something. I was not very sure if it is working or if it will work the way I expect it to. But yeah, I guess that interview didn't actually go that well. And the last interview was a systems design interview. So in that interview asked me to build a very basic design for a particular system. I basically wrote the API contract and told them how I will implement these methods in a very basic sense. And then the interviewer took it to the next level, as in what will you do if you have the same software running on a very large scale system where you are getting a lot of requests per second, how will you handle that? So a lot of discussions and whiteboarding around large scale systems. And it was again a very nice experience, and I actually felt good about the interview after the interview was over. After that, I flew back to Delhi. So after around a week, I got a call from the recruiter that they are proceeding ahead with my packet to the hiring committee. Now this hiring committee thing is very interesting in Google. It doesn't actually mean that you are selected. And interestingly, out of 10 candidates, only on an average, only 3 make it past the hiring committee, as per what I have read on the internet. So hiring committee looks at all the content that all the interviewers has written about you, and then they take a decision. And they also factor in any kind of external or internal references that you have in your support. The recruiter told me that we are proceeding ahead with the hiring committee, and they need to do a team match. Basically, the recruiter tries to find a hiring manager for you. The hiring manager calls you, and you have a small 30 or 40 minutes discussion where the hiring manager tells you what their team is doing. If and when there is a mutual consent, then the process goes ahead. So I talked to a hiring manager, things are good, we went ahead. And yeah, hiring committee gave approval to my offer and I was selected. Yay! Yeah guys, that was it. So by the way, all the interviewers were very nice, very intelligent, very soft spoken. So the entire process was very smooth. So this is what I could cover in this 10 minutes video. So actually out of this particular video, I can make a lot of sub videos in the future as well. So if you guys want to hear about any particular interview, I cannot disclose the questions, of course. But still, if you want to hear more about the interview process, let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.